Okay, gather round, history fans. We're about to embark on a fascinating journey. Let's journey back to ancient Persia, a land where the beards were epic and the stories even more so. The rugs were even bigger, often so large they could cover entire rooms, and emperors ruled with a swagger that would make even Kanye blush. They were the rock stars of their time. We're talking about a civilization so old, it makes your grandparents' vinyl collection look like it was released yesterday. Their legacy is still felt today. We're rewinding to the Iranian plateau around 550 BC, a time of great change and ambition. Cyrus the Great, a leader who could conquer more territory before breakfast than most people conquer in a game of Risk, decided it was time to unite the Iranian people. His vision was grand, and his determination unmatched. Thus, the Achaemenid Empire was born, stretching from the Indus River to the Aegean Sea. It was a vast and diverse empire. It was basically the Amazon Prime of empires, vast, efficient, and delivered right to your doorstep, assuming your doorstep was in their delivery zone, which, let's be honest, it probably was. Their reach was unparalleled. The Achaemenids were known for their impressive infrastructure. They built roads so smooth, chariots probably got better gas mileage. These roads connected the empire like never before. They also had a postal system that was faster than a teenager texting, and that's saying something. Communication was key to their success. This era was a golden age for Persia, setting the stage for centuries of cultural and political influence. Their achievements laid the groundwork for future civilizations. The Achaemenid Empire eventually fell because, well, empires tend to do that. They rise, they flourish, and then, inevitably, they crumble under their own weight or external pressures. It's like a historical game of Jenga. Eventually someone pulls the wrong block and the whole thing comes tumbling down. But don't worry, the Persians weren't done yet. They were just getting warmed up. Their story was far from over. Enter Alexander the Great, history's overachiever, who conquered the Achaemenids in the 4th century BC. His ambition knew no bounds. Alexander was a bit of a party animal, and by party animal we mean conqueror of nations. But even he couldn't resist the allure of Persian culture. It was too rich and sophisticated to ignore. He ended up marrying a Persian noblewoman and adopting some Persian customs, blending Greek and Persian traditions. Talk about burying the hatchet, hopefully not literally. This union was a significant cultural exchange. After Alexander's untimely demise, apparently you can't conquer the world and live to tell the tale, the Seleucid Empire, ruled by one of Alexander's generals, took over. But their rule was not to last. But the Persians weren't about to let someone else run their empire. They had a legacy to protect and a future to shape. They revolted, kicked the Seleucids out, and established the Parthian Empire, a new chapter in their storied history. The Parthians were known for their military prowess, especially their mounted archers, who could hit a target from farther away than you can hit the snooze button. Their skills were legendary. Fast forward a few centuries and we arrive at the Sasanian Empire, the last Persian empire before the arrival of Islam. The Sasanians were like the Beyoncé of Persian dynasties, powerful, glamorous, and they knew how to make an entrance. They ruled for over 400 years, from the 3rd to the 7th century AD, and during that time they revived Persian culture, art, and military might. Think of it as the ultimate comeback tour. The Sasanians were all about that Silk Road life. They traded with China, India, and the Roman Empire, becoming a cultural and economic hub. They also built impressive palaces, developed a complex legal system, and even had a university that would make Hogwarts jealous, although we're not sure about the whole talking portraits thing. But all good things must come to an end, and the Sasanian Empire was no exception. In the 7th century AD, a new force arrived on the scene: Islam. Section 4, Islam arrives new empire, who dis? The arrival of Islam in the 7th century AD was a game-changer for Persia, kind of like when you finally got Wi-Fi and your life was forever altered. It brought a new wave of ideas, beliefs, and cultural practices that would reshape the region in profound ways. The Islamic conquest led to the fall of the Sasanian Empire and the spread of Islam throughout the region. This was not just a military takeover but a significant cultural and religious transformation. It was a period of significant change, both politically and culturally. The old Persian markets and cities began to reflect the new Islamic influence, blending the old with the new. But here's the thing about the Persians: they're adaptable. They didn't just survive, they thrived by integrating new elements while preserving their rich heritage. They embraced Islam, but they also held on to their own distinct cultural identity. Persian art, literature, and traditions continued to flourish under Islamic rule. It's like when you go to a potluck and bring your grandma's famous casserole. You're down with trying new things, but you're not about to abandon your roots. This blend of old and new created a unique cultural tapestry. Under the rule of various Islamic dynasties, Persia continued to thrive. The cities grew, and the culture became even more vibrant. The Abbasid Caliphate, centered in Baghdad, marked a golden age of Islamic civilization, a period of immense intellectual and cultural growth. And Persian scholars, artists, and thinkers played a major role in this flourishing. They contributed significantly to the fields of science, literature, and the arts. It was like the Renaissance, but with less focus on Renaissance art and more on algebra and astronomy. This period laid the groundwork for many modern scientific and cultural advancements. Section 5. Culture Club. Poets, scientists, and that rug you can't afford. Speaking of Persian contributions to the world, let's talk culture, baby. From poetry to mathematics, astronomy to architecture, the Persians were like the overachievers of the ancient world. They were the kids in school who aced every subject, played varsity sports, and still had time to volunteer at the local soup kitchen. We're talking about legendary poets like Rumi and Hafez, whose words still resonate with people around the world. We're talking about mathematicians like Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, who made your high school math class possible. You're welcome, we think. And we're talking about astronomers like Omar Khayyam, who figured out the Earth's rotation and still had time to write some killer poetry. And let's not forget about Persian art and architecture. From the stunning mosques of Isfahan to the intricate miniature paintings, Persian art is known for its beauty, detail, and ability to make you wish you had paid more attention in art history class. Section 6. The 20th century. Oil, revolutions, and disco, not all at once. Fast forward to the 20th century, and things start to get really interesting. And by interesting, we mean complicated. Oil was discovered in Persia, now Iran, in the early 1900s, and suddenly everyone and their mother wanted a piece of the action. It was like finding out your neighbor won the lottery, except instead of casseroles, people were bringing warships. The Pahlavi dynasty came to power in the 1920s, and they were all about modernizing Iran. They built roads, schools, and hospitals, and they gave women the right to vote. It was a period of significant social and economic change, kind of like when you finally upgraded your flip phone to a smartphone. But not everyone was happy with the pace of change, and in 1979, the Islamic Revolution swept the Shah from power and established the Islamic Republic of Iran. It was a major turning point in Iranian history, and its effects are still felt today. Section 7. Modern Iran, Persian cats, nuclear deals, and Instagram influencers. So here we are, in the 21st century, and Iran continues to be a country of contradictions and complexities. It's a country with a rich history and culture, but it's also a country facing significant challenges, both domestically and internationally. Iran is a major player in the Middle East with a powerful military and a nuclear program that has made the rest of the world a little bit nervous, understandably so. It's also a country with a young, tech-savvy population that's eager to engage with the rest of the world. So, what's next for Iran? That's the million-dollar question, and unfortunately we don't have a crystal ball. But one thing's for sure, Iran's story is far from over. This is a country with a long and storied past, and its future is still being written. Stay tuned, folks. It's going to be interesting.